Good morning on this Sunday morning, and for me this rather chilly Sunday morning. I've got my my purple fleece on because I'm rather chilly. It's not going to be long though before the studio heats up with all these lights, as we know. I'll give it a couple of minutes, but you see it'll be off. Anyway, it is so nice to have your company on this Sunday morning. As I say, this is all about getting inky, and it's all about Colour Me Happy. So we're going to be having a look at lots of re-inky items, so you're going to be able to do lots and lots and lots of different techniques, but I'm not the one that's going to be doing that this morning. It is, of course. I'm so happy to be here on a Sunday morning with the one, the only, my partner in crime. Will not say what we used to call each other when we were setting up tables on QVC. It is, of course, it's Debbie. Morning, Debbie.
Oh, good morning, Craig. Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday. It's Colour Me Happy. It's great to be back. It feels like it's been ages since I've been in the studio. We had a bit of a work stew yesterday, which was really nice. So apologies that we wasn't on air, but I think you'll forgive us for having a little bit of a drink. Although I was just on soft drinks because I was driving. So, but yeah, it was all good. So let us know what you've been up to on your weekend, and we can discuss.
Absolutely, we can do indeed. For Colour Me Happy, we've got Chantel on the comment. So she's going to be giving us a helping hand, feeding them through. Just go all the way along here. Either Facebook or, of course, YouTube, the place to be. Right, before we dive in, end of the summer sale, we've still got going across on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu. Check it out. Check it out on a daily basis because we've got many items that are always being added each day. We've also got many items that's been taken off, because that's because you've bought them and sold them out. Up to 70% off, and some items are even all the way down to £1 or $1. It is going to run all the way up till the 2nd of October, so midnight your time, 2nd of October. So while you're there, check them out. There is some soft crafts, there's some flower form and foam, some die cutting, there is a little bit of colouring, there is also some folders, there's craft kits as well, lots and lots and lots. We are coming, of course, to the end of September, which we really are full force, starting to think of Christmas very, very soon. So why not think of, you know, Secret Santas, etc., etc. But this is, as I was saying, Colour Me Happy. So we're going to be having a look at our weekend Super Saver. This is only for 24 hours. So this is going to end at midnight, wherever you are across the globe. You're going to be getting your metallic ink pad selection with your premium black cardstock. 30 sheets you're going to be getting. Now today's price being £25 or $35, everyone will be getting that 25% saving. However, if you are platinum, even although it is a weekend super saver, you're still going to get your discount. That's going to come down to £20 or $28. Really, really lovely selection there. Midas ink pads, you've got the 4 of them there, as I was saying, with your paper pad. You've got rose gold, you've got bronze, you've got blush, and you've got gold. Yes, they do look really, really nice on light cardstock, but they really, really show the brightness of the Midas ink pads onto dark cardstock. Really nice set, as I was saying. Maybe you want to dabble into if you've never touched upon our Midas ink pads, but that is our weekend super saver. As I was saying, it is for 24 hours only. Today only, up to midnight, wherever you are across the globe. So that is what we've got there. But what we are going to be having a look at, which is what it's predominantly going to be all about, our alcohol re-inker starter kit. Now, some may not realise that when it comes to your alcohol re-inkers, where we say these will re-ink your classiques and illustrators, but you can be doing lots and lots of different techniques with them. So we have put our alcohol re-inker starter kit together for you. Now, everyone, if you are not in Club Inspire, everyone would be paying £30 or $40. That's going to give you a saving of over 40%. But if you are in Club Inspire and you happen to be platinum, that's going to come down to £24 or $32. Now, you're going to get 3 of your re-inkers when it comes to this set here. So you are going to be getting your PV3, BT, let me just turn that around, 9 and JG4. So you've got your 3 little bottles there. You've got Flagstone alcohol proof ink pad. You've got your sparkle clear overlay. You've also got your swirl stamps. You've also got your Nina cardstock, and you're going to be getting a number 8 brush as well. All of that is in that little, and I say little, but it's quite a substantial starter kit. £30, $40. But if you are platinum, that comes down to £24 or $32. That's where the 2 was coming from a moment ago. If you want all of the re-inkers that we've got on the show, we have got a bundle of 14 of them. So we have got the re-inker collection where you're going to be getting 14 of them. Now you're going to be saving 40% on the today's price, so that's going to be £50 or $65. If you are platinum, that is also going to come down that little bit more to £40 or $52. We are going to be seeing throughout Colour Me Happy with Debbie the different things that you can be doing with them. Yes, great for many of your alcohol pens, classics, illustrators, refill. Think of the different things that you can be doing with them as well. Later on in the show, what we'll do is we will go, actually, let's bring them in. Johnny's just said, do you want to bring them in, Craig? Yeah, that helps, doesn't it? I've got them. It helps if we actually bring them in. You know, you get an idea as to what you're going to be paying. Now, what we're going to do is let's bring these ones in. So everything that I'm showing you're going to be getting, let's just line these up a bit. What I will say though, and we'll touch upon it just shortly, is we do have them broken down into 2 little bundles as well. So let's forgive me because I cannot line these up without them being sorted. So I tell you what, everything I'm away to go through is what you're going to be getting. So starting off with our first 7. So we're going to be getting LG3. We're also going to get FS3, BP3. We're also going to be getting PL5, DG3, BT6, BT8. So they correspond to your alcohol pens. You're also going to be getting, within this set here, so this is your full set, you're going to be getting BT5, PL3. You're also going to be getting your PP5 and PL1. You're also going to get OR3 or AB3. So you're also going to get them. And you're also going to be getting JG1. So that is that full re-inker collection that you're getting. 14 re-inkers, £50 or $65. Already busy on these ones here. I'm not surprised when it comes to these ones here, you are going to be saving 40%. Now, if you like the look of that bundle, but maybe you can't quite reach to that full collection, they are actually broken down into 2 sets. So you can go for collection 1 or collection 2. So the re-inker collection 1, this is where you're going to get the 7 re-inkers here. This one here is £30 or $37. Platinum price comes down to £24 or $30. So within that one there, that was actually the first set, I want to say, that I was showing you. So the first 7 I showed you, that is collection 1. Maybe you want to go for collection 2. Exactly the same price, £30 or $37.50. Platinum comes down to £24 or $30. What I would say though is if you were to go for collection 1 and collection 2, it would work out that you're paying £10 or $10 more than if you went for that bundle. So if you go for the big bundle, you are going to save that extra £10 or $10. Let's say a quick hello. We have got Kathy saying, good morning all, you lovely crafty peeps and everyone at CTV. We've got Tracy's just out there. We've got Johnny and George in the gallery today. I'm part-time today. I'm only here for Colour Me Happy. You've got Joe coming up later on for the remaining of the day. Bethan is saying, good morning everyone, ready to lax with some colouring and lots of giggles. That's me and Debbie, so probably the giggles have started already. Carol's saying, good morning from Tennessee. I can't wait for my favourite show. Donna's saying, good morning. Sarah Brown is saying, good evening. She's in Australia. Sandy is saying, hope you all enjoyed the barbecue yesterday. I did. Did you, Debbie?
It was lovely. In fact, it was a hog roast.
It was.
It was delicious.
It was so nice it was. Suzanne is saying good morning, Sue's saying good morning. We've got Timothy, we've got Sarah, we've got Alistair, we've got Karen, we've got Cheryl, we've got Jennifer. Zoe is also all saying good morning. Hope you all had a lovely day, enjoyed the barbecue yesterday. No one's hungover this morning. Well, we're not. I can't speak for anyone else on the team.
Ben will be. Mm-hmm. Ben will be. Ben had a few.
Yeah,
I took him home.
Yeah, Ben was on, but Well, actually, he had a couple of beers. Yeah, we were having some good conversation about the beers that he was having. Right, get your comments coming in. Any questions? If there is anything when it comes to the alcohol re-inkers, of course, then feed them through and we'll fire them across to Debbie. Right, Debbie, what are we going to be doing?
Yeah, so let's strip it all back. We're going to be doing a literal Colour Me Happy show where we're literally just going to be playing the whole couple of hours, just getting to know what re-inkers are, what we can do with them, different techniques. If you've got any questions or anything you want me to try out, then let us know, because I'm quite happy to do that as well, because if I can do anything with them or make the mistakes that you don't have to, I'm quite happy to do that. I've just got a few samples that I want to show you of just some of the sort of different designs, because you're probably thinking, what is a re-inker? It is an alcohol ink. It means you can create stunning backgrounds, no matter what sort of designs you want to do, whatever you want to do yourself. If you like to be creative, these are definitely the inks for you. You can do so much with them. There's so many tutorials on these out there, and it's just nice to have a play, be able to do a show with them. I'm going to be showing this as well, how you can stamp with re-inkers, which is what a lot of people don't realise you can do. So there's a little bit of a sort of, well, it's not magic, but it's a little bit of a technique that you can do to stamp with. This is watercolour card as well, so you can actually take your re-inkers to your watercolour card, but again, it's a different technique, and there's different things that you will need. Now, unfortunately, there's certain things that we don't have in stock that I'm going to be using, because it's what we use with our re-inkers, because they're alcohol inks. Now, the first thing I'm going to be using is a material called Yupo paper. Now, you can buy Yupo paper online. Unfortunately, we don't have any stock of it, but keep a lookout on the website, because we do get it in quite regular. It's just that we had a show not long ago and it just sells out time and time again. So basically, Yupo paper is the name of the paper and the company that sells it. So not sells it, that produces it. And it's a plastic paper, really. Now, the other thing that you can go on to is also, if it have some, is plain photo paper. Doesn't have to be expensive. Photo paper is almost like Yupo, where it has that plastic coating on the top. So it has that slippery, non-porous surface. You can also paint onto glass with them. You can paint onto metal charms or any metals. So there's lots of things that it will go on to. Acetate is another one. Vellum is another one they go on to. So there's lots of different ones that you can do. Now, that's getting the medium right of what you can pop them onto. You can obviously go on to Nina cardstock. Nina is a great one to put them onto. I'm going to bring in a couple of colours, so let's have a look. Let's do...
Because we talk about, you know, when it comes to our classics or illustrators, we talk about how you can colour your gems and you can colour different surfaces and that. And that's what's in them. Do you know what I mean? That's the ink that's in them. So as you were saying, your acetates, your glass and all that, all these surfaces you can go onto.
Of course, which makes them really versatile, doesn't it? Now, the thing with you're thinking, what is a re-inker and why is it different to a pen? The re-inkers were developed because of our alcohol pens. Now, our classic pens have a chisel nib on one of them. So anyone that has an alcohol pen that's our classic, all you do is take that chisel nib out. You buy the colour that you want. So if you've got a BP3 that's running low, you can buy your BP3. You're literally going to undo the nozzle. You're going to use that little pipette and you're going to pop that one. You can pop 3 pipettes into your pen, depending on how much it is dry. I would say if you've used it quite a bit, 3 of these will be plenty. See how you go and then just keep refilling as you need it. You can get, I think it's about, if I'm right, I think you get about 10 refills of a full pen in there. So that's quite a lot of ink. So these are really worth buying if you are someone that loves your alcohol colouring with your pens. You can refill your pens with these. So that was their main use. But obviously being an alcohol substance, it means that all these different techniques now become available because we've got them in ink form. And we're just going to have a play to start with and show you how you do them. So I'm going to take a sheet of my Yupo paper. Now, the other thing you do need, I've got a non-branded one, which is just your isopropyl alcohol. And this one I'm using is 99.9%. You get ones that are 97%, 92%. 50%, all of those are fine. So whatever you use them for, you can use this. Some people also, I've got a little, this one was a handmade one I bought. Oh, it's my glove looks stuck to the
Did you take that from the bar
there.
last night before it all was drunk dry?
I think this is what Ben was on last night.
Probably, yeah.
This is not drinkable, just so everybody knows that. And also, I've just got some hand sanitizer as well. So I bought one that was a handmade one, a hand sanitizer. Now, what I like to use this for, it hasn't got the same amount of alcohol content in it, so it won't work as well, although it does have quite a high percentage of alcohol, which is 70%. It's still not enough to blend, but it would sort of work. But what this is great for, Craig, is cleaning up afterwards. So when you've got ink on your glass mat or whatever platform you go, use your hand sanitizer to clean up, because it cleans absolutely brilliantly, because it's a bit more slippery than what your isopropanol is.
That's right, yeah.
So a really good one to use for that. Now, the other thing that I'm going to use as well is some, let me just bring this one in, just some glycerin. So I've got a nice big bottle that we normally use for our ink pads. Now, if you mix glycerin with your isopropanol, it creates a blending solution, which is slightly different. It means you can start going through stencils. So it makes it not so watery. So there's lots of different ways that you can do them. So what I want to sort of show you today is literally by having a play all your different effects that you can get. So starting with our Yupo paper, all I'm going to do is I've got my isopropanol in just a cup with a little pipette. Now, if you don't have any pipettes, just go online. You know, we've got that cheap site online, and literally you can buy about 100 of them for, I don't know, but pence really. So they're quite cheap. And all I'm going to do to start with is just square a little bit onto my page, just like so. Now remember, that is a slippery substance, and it's not going to dry, it's just going to move around. So, and I'll show you too. Now, if you don't use it, let me take this one. So this is our bright pink. If I put that onto a part, can you see where it's not got any? Then I drop that, look at the difference.
Oh, wow, look at that.
You can make really beautiful effects by popping that in. Even if I don't put any there, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to bring in my orange here. So I've got an OR3, and we can then pop that into the space. I can even drop that in between, and it will still sort of blend.
So it does.
It's just a really nice way to do it. And in fact, let's bring in another little colour. Let's go for a green in there as well. Now, just be mindful of what you're using. So there, I can see that green is going to just turn into brown, so I don't want to use too much of that. Now, if I use still some more of this and I want to just pop that in the middle, it's just going to spread it even more. But what I am going to do is you can either use your heat tool. Now, I don't want my heat tool to dry it to start with. What I want to do is move it around. So you can literally turn your page and just move that to wherever you want it. I'm not going to worry about it coming off the edges. Now, the other thing you can do, so you can see straight away it's starting to dry here. You can then bring in your straw. I did have my straw right next to me and it's disappeared. Oh, there it is. Can't see it. It's because it's bright green and stripy, so why would I see that? Now, if I start to sort of, if I want to get it elsewhere, we can start making different effects with that as well. So it's just a case of turning it where you want it.
Wow.
And really just creating those effects. So it's a really cool way to sort of, it's stuck on the bottom here, there we go. Let me bring that up a bit. Now if I want, so this middle bit is not putting any on, you can just bring some more in. So
you can go back and add on to.
So the other thing, Craig, which is brilliant about this, is it's the most forgiving medium that you could ever use. Because if you don't like it, you can change the whole look of it straight away. Just being able to put that in. If I then want to add that sort of, I'm not going to use that green because I think that was a bit of a muddying colour. I can then go in and drop other colours into this as well. And if you don't like it, you just keep changing it. It's the best thing about this, creating different backgrounds. And again, if I want to blow that,
wow.
It just creates all the time all these different looks.
Look at that. Wow.
and you could just completely change it the whole time. Once you are ready or you quite like what you've got, because sometimes you just want something to look just beautiful in the background and then be able to stamp into, you can then dry that off with your heat tool. So that can sometimes, there are heat tools, this one in the studio is not very powerful. Some heat tools, if you put it quite close, you see it can move it about a little bit. So you can still sort of get different effects. But once it starts to dry, can you now see that purple starting to come through in there? And you can just keep popping that on. And even when that's dry, you can still go in and move it about.
And the thing is Debbie, you could do that again with the same colours you've done 3 times.
Yep.
300 times.
Absolutely.
3,000 times. Now, you know, I'm exaggerating to make a point here, but 3 million times. And you are never, ever, ever, ever going to get potentially even close to being similar to ones that you've done before. And that is because it's just completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you do. You just literally play, you create different versions of what you like to do, and it just looks amazing. Once you do have that, it's just that case that if you like what you like, you can absolutely just leave. Oh, look at it. Oh dear, I can't pick it up at all. There we go. Oh, I've made a right mess. Good job I bought my isopropyl. Don't tell Tracy. Don't tell Tracy.
I'll always have your back, Debbie. Unless when Tracy's in, I'm away.
I'm going to pop that on there and just pop that to the side. And I am going to, just so you can see, I'm going to use, well, in fact, I better clear this. Oh, really tip that out then. It's very messy, isn't it? But let's look at that. Can't really see that on there.
Oh, you can just see that's...
It's literally takes it all up. It's so good. Even if I pull this up, it's so good at cleaning everything away. And obviously it sanitises everything.
Well,
it smells nice.
You know, the thing is, you know, I'm not going on with someone that I shouldn't be going on about here, but many of us, you know, we still use hand sanitizer. Many of us are going to have more than enough. That
Absolutely,
we're not, but it's just sitting there. So, you know, start to incorporate it, use it, you know, we've got it. So.
Oh, this smells so good.
Does it?
This is a lemon one. It's really lovely. Yeah, some sanitizers don't smell very nice, do they? But this one was a handmade one I got from a local garden centre, and it smells of lemons. It's beautiful. Ooh. So, yeah, so there we go. So that's the first thing you do. Now, I just want to show you another technique that you can do, which I quite like. So, doing these extra pieces. Now, I've got 2 pieces. What I love about this is we're going to do a similar sort of thing, but this time I am going to use, now what I have done, mine's gone a little bit pink because I've used it. Can you see this is it's not as runny? Now, I've put glycerin in this with my isopropanol, and I'm literally going to paint this onto my Yupo paper. So we literally just put in a piece all the way around there. This is just going to help it slide, but not be too wet. Let's bring in a couple of other colours. So we've got, I'm going to use that purple again, I think. And we're going to just pop that onto our design. And then I think I'm going to use that with our blue.
It's one of those things where even if you just have an hour, or maybe an afternoon or a day, and make backgrounds, make patterns.
Absolutely.
Try different techniques, you know, get other mediums, obviously, get the straw or get some bubble wrap or just stuff like that and just play.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is exactly what you should be doing with these, is having a play. And like I say, make sure you've got some of your hand sanitizer, because that really will help you with the cleanup. Now I'm going to take another piece. Now this is just what I class as a smooshing technique. Okay. And we're going to place the 2 pieces together. Now what I love about this one, Craig, is you get 2 for the price of 1. Yeah. And all we're doing is smooshing that between each other. I don't even know if that's a technical term, but I'm going to say it is. And just pop that. So then when you peel these apart, you then get these 2 beautiful effects. And again, you can change the look of that if you want. If I want to go in with a brush and I want to just move that about a bit, we can actually do that as well and start mixing those colours. And this is not what you would expect from alcohol substances. So this is the one, so I've used this. This is more of of a glycerin. This is the glycerin and isopropanol.
Right.
Because we've added the glycerin, it makes it more slippery. Because we have put in the isopropanol, it means that our alcohol will shift without drying so quickly. Yeah, and if you want to go back, if you don't like what your designs that you've done, you can put that in again. There's another way you could do this by smooshing it together but pulling it apart. So we can pop them together and then literally, I'm going to hold the bottom piece and run it through. And then as you run it through, you get even, look at this, you're even getting texture on there. So really different designs. Yeah, and that's, so Johnny has just said, it's just like a watercolour wash.
It is.
And this is, for me, is what crafting is all about.
Yeah.
It's being really creative. It's being able to create completely different effects. And when you start using these onto your backgrounds, you start to emboss them, you start to add your die cuts onto them, you start to stamp onto them, you just get really, like you just said, Craig, a different aspect of them every single time. Yeah. And it's what I love about alcohol reinkers, is because it's endless. I mean, really endless. The other substance you can use bleach as well. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't like using bleach, but it is another form of being creative with it. So if I was to take, now what I would suggest, I've got one here, is what I would do is pop some bleach. I didn't do myself, well, I can do it actually. Let me just grab.
So the mediums out there that you can be using, you know what I mean? If you want to keep it very simple, just by following some of the techniques that Debbie's done, of course you can do. And then you can think about, you know, your Stay Sticky pen with little bits of your Gildan flakes or any of your cold foilings or anything like that. It's just the crafty ability is endless.
Yeah, absolutely. So all I've done is popped a little bit of bleach into some water, but I've also, can you see my pipette here? I've wrote bleach on it. Okay. Because what you don't want to do is mix your mediums of these. You don't want to put bleach onto anything else. So what you then can do, and I can use both of the pieces that I've got in front of me, if I then go to pop my bleach on here, it might not work actually on this one. I've probably done it on the wrong one, because I've added the glycerin, it's not reacting. See, but if you just allow, can you see it's starting to bleach out? You can actually. On here, so you get totally different effects. But because I've used glycerin, it's not coming up straight away. But what you would do is leave that, and then you can get almost like that faux bleached effect. So another really cool way that you can do it. So I'm going to leave that and pop them to the side, and then we'll show them later when they've dried the effect that they do. But just be careful, because it is a bleach substance. You don't want to be using that obviously around children or animals, and just make sure you clean up your designs and keep them into one place, because it is one of those substances that you don't want to get everywhere.
That's right, yeah.
But there we go. So that's just a couple of things to start you off with what you can do with these reinkers.
Now, if you take what you've just learned from Debbie within the last 15 minutes, say, you can just run and run and run with the techniques that Debbie's just shown you, and then start to incorporate other things. But remember, you know, we've still got another hour and a half to go with lots and lots of other ideas. Very quickly as well, thinking of what Debbie's just done, Mark was in on Friday from Visible Image. Now he's done these. What about creating your backgrounds with what you've just done, Debbie, and then come along with your Visible Image stamps, or any stamps.
And you could do that exactly with those. You can do that
as well.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you've got that as well. And then also touching upon as well, when we do our watercolour card with the spritzing with the water, and we say faux bleaching effect, because it's the same effect as what Debbie's just done, but with real bleach. So that's why that's called the faux bleach, because it looks the same, it's just with water. But anyway, lots and lots of love for all of that coming through. I'm going to show you some sparkle pens. I just want to do a little bit of a shout out. Lots and lots of people watching. I'm going to go back a little bit. So we've got Panda Crafts is saying, do you need a refill for every alcohol pen?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, yes. They, because of the colours, each alcohol one would be a different colour.
That's right, yes. We've got loads of them in stock on our website. I know, because I'd ordered a load as well. The reinkers that are out of stock, very similar to the Yupo paper, and it's one of those casualties of what's going on in the world. That's why we only get so much in, and then it sells out, and we'll have to wait. So as Debbie says, these will be coming back in. It's just one of those casualties. We just need to wait that little bit longer. Kathy from Missouri. Tanya is also saying morning. Melnie's saying hello from Florida. Tanya saying, I'm enjoying the summer sale. Real bargains. Really is. Lots of bargains. Have you had a look lately, Debbie?
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, really amazing bargains. Yeah, absolutely.
Even like scoreboards and that, fab. We've also got, so we've got Christine, we've got Flora, Rhonda. They're all saying morning. Rhonda is from Round Rock, Texas. Elnar, hello everyone. Also everyone at CTV. Hope all is well. We're all well, thank you very much. Adriana is saying good morning from San Antonio, Texas. Not completely awake yet, lol. We are anyway, we are. Angela, I always use up my extra ink or pen on blank pages in my journals. Good idea. Love that. Makes great bases for me to journal on to later. Deborah saying morning from chilly Lancaster. Still a bit chilly here as well. Jeffrey saying good morning, Craig, Debbie and all the great superstar CTV crew and crafty folks. We've got Lil saying beautiful. Linda, good morning, Craig, Debbie, social. My lovely crafty friends from Dudley. Just a couple more before we crack on. Deborah, I never thought of using photo paper. Don't have a printer, so a great way to use the papers. Really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really is. Gillian saying, love the smooching. We'll give this a try. What kind of smooching are you going to try? Timothy, if you use photo paper, glossy, how long would you leave it to dry?
We'll do it in the next demo and we'll have a look at that.
There you go. Linda saying good morning. Flora is saying, wow, beautiful cards. Bethan saying, love these techniques. Such unique looks and so much fun. And Jeffrey is saying, it's a cool autumn, 45 Fahrenheit, 7 Celsius here in New Hampshire. Right, get your comments coming in. Any questions, get them coming in. And Chantel will feed them through. Right, sparkle markers, sparkle pens, sparkle glitter brush pens, 3-piece. So we've got a nice selection for you. We're going to have a look at the Essential Brights first of all. $11.99 or $11.69 or $15.25. For you guys in platinum is mean numbers today. $9.35 or $12.50. So here we go. We're going to have a look at our Essential Brights here. So within this set here, you have got aquamarine, pink garnet, and firefly. I know Johnny's thinking what I'm thinking when it comes to firefly. Wrestling, of course. So look at these really, really bright colours, bold colours would complement your projects, of course, but this one being your Essential Brights. $11.69 or $15.25. You're still going to get that 10% saving on today's price, but you will get your Club Inspire on top of that one. So that one was your Essential Bright. We are then going to have a look at our Antique Vintage. Now look how these ones, I'm just trying to angle them just so I can see. So we've got the fig, we've got the peacock blue, and we've got the macaroon. I love that real sparkle. It's like a fuchsia in there, that one actually being the macaroon. But these, if you're familiar with our sparkle pens, you know the lots of different techniques, lots of different ways you could use these ones as well, being water-based. We're then going to have a look at the Earthy Naturals. This is one I feel many will be using, certainly this time of the year. You've got your Holly Leaf, you've got your Smoke Quartz, and your Harvest Moon. Now these ones here really going to work well, even going into the Christmas with your foliage, etc., etc. All of these ones, $11.69 or $15.25 for each individual 3-pack. We're then going to go into the Tint and Tone. So within this one here, the 3 that you're going to get is you're actually going to get a crystal clear, you're also going to get the Starry Sky, and you're also going to get the Onyx Black here. Trust me when I say that when it comes to the Onyx Blacks with the sparkle, it's absolutely spectacular. It really, really is. Actually, even the Starry Sky is as well. Last but by no means least, we've got our clear sparkle overlay. We, all of us as a team here, we use these ones time and time again. Really nice one to substitute your water brush or your paintbrush in water and do your water techniques if you want, but still get the sparkle. like anything you see on Crafters TV, more specifically when it comes to these, check out our YouTube. We've got lots and lots and lots of shows you can go back and watch and follow for techniques. But that one there, your 3-pack clear overlay, also $11.69 or $15.25, saving 10% on that today's price. But if you are platinum, that's then going to come down to $9.35 or $12.20 for each individual set. Worthwhile maybe cherry picking a couple. You know, if you could reach to all of them, then, you know, brilliant. That's just going to add more creativity into your stash. If not, then maybe cherry pick a couple for you to decide. Now, when it comes to sparkle, we have got our vibrant florals. Now, these ones here, whenever I feature these ones, I always say I like to use these ones to write out my birthday cards or my Christmas cards, because you've got that finer nib at the tip. However, you can still do lots and lots of different techniques with these ones here. Within this one here, you are going to get golden glow, electric pink, ultraviolet, fiery red, supernova, and yellow cosmos. And to let you see here what you're going to get, I'm going to lay that down and see if we can get a little bit of sparkle coming through. We're just getting it through. Whoa, we're catching it. Ah, look at that. Look at that. That one being your vibrant florals, $10.79 or $15.25 for that 6-pack, or $8.63, $12.20 for a 6-pack. That is fab. But we've got another option for you. This one, neon lights. Really is. Now, Becky, she was saying the other day she would love to see some cardstock with that neon effect, you know, real bright. A couple of things close in our range. I know we've got our canary yellow in our Centura Pearl. That's a real bright neon, and there's a green as well. But yeah, you never know. She might put forward that idea to product development, see that in the future. But these ones, as it is at the moment, this is our sparkle glitter pens. So it does say brush on the screen. It's not a brush pen. These are just more like of a fine writing pen. But these ones here are your neon lights, $10.79, $15.25, and these are the colours that you can see within these ones here. So we've got these ones. Same idea, you get that sparkle coming through, but these ones are your neon lights. You might want to add some stamps to your collection. So these are your sparkle stamps. This one, I bet you're at home thinking, gosh, thank God he's only on the one show of the day. We've got a professional coming in later on, that's Joe. Glitter marker stamp collection with 19, is that right? With 19 markers. I think it's just the stamps. Glitter marker Did someone type these out after they were at the party last night? I think they must have. Or were they at the party writing these ones out, working while they were there? Do you know, it makes me feel good. It's not just me, you know. This one here, so this is your glitter stamp collection here. So within these ones here, I think that is meant to be 19 stamps. So you're going to get all of that one, $15.98 or $19.90. Really good saving on these ones there. Saving of $31.96 or $39.80. However, if you are platinum, that's going to come down to $12.78 or $15.92. It actually works out that you buy 2 and you're going to get 3 for free, and there are individual stamps in them as well, so it's not just one stamp in each one. Right, let's have a look at the starter set. Again, we're going to go across to Debbie, see what else we can do. Comments are still coming through. What we'll do is I'll let them feed through for a little bit longer, and then when we come back, we'll read out some more. But when it comes to the Reinker collection, Debbie, what else can you be doing with them?
Right, so let's have a look first of all at photo paper. So we know most people have that in their household, Craig, yeah, which is good. So if you can't get hold of Yupo paper, then photo paper is your next best thing. So anything that has a non-porous surface that's slippery, shiny, that's something that your alcohol can sit onto. Now, you can use the alcohol on their own, so you don't need to add anything else. It just helps. Now, the other thing that's really good to use is we do our ink applicators, so our ink blenders. Now, these ones are with felt, so you can actually buy, and I'm pretty sure we've got these on our website as well.
I think we do, because I use them as well, Debbie.
We do some Tim Holt ones as well. Now, the reason you don't have to buy these, now, just so you know, you can use our ink applicators and you can use any felt. Just cut them into little circles or little patches that will fit on the top there, because that would just stick to your normal ink applicator. Now, the reason that I would say to use felt instead of, so let me just bring in one of our sponges. So obviously we do ones like this that are thick with their sponge. The only difference in this, can you see, Craig, is the size.
Yeah.
If you put your inks into here, it's a sponge. It's going to absorb it all. It's going to take all your inks. So it will do the same job, but you're with a lot more of your inks.
Exactly.
And actually you don't want to waste them.
Nope.
Now, if you use one of your felt pads, it won't take so much of your ink, but it will last just as long, because there's nowhere to really absorb into. So that's a really good tip, that one, is to make sure that you put some felt on them and not use your sponges. And then it's just a case of getting your inks and using some different effects. So let's just bring in some of these colours, and you can mix them as well. So we can actually pop on, let's just pop some pink in there. I'm going to pop that to the side.
We actually had some felt on Softer Side of Life on Friday.
Oh, there you go, perfect.
It's still in stock, so.
Absolutely perfect. Now, it will start to dry on here, but it will take a little bit of time to dry. But what I would also do is pop some isopropanol onto that as well. Okay. So if you've, so I've always, and I've got all different ones going on, so I've just put ISO written onto mine. So I always know which one we're going to pop it onto. And then we're just going to sort of soak that round. And then that way, this will allow us to blend beautiful colours onto our paper. So you can see this is taking it really well by creating onto just photo paper. So I absolutely love this effect, because you can just really create sort of different effects. And I'm twisting, but actually, if I was just to dab all over, we just create a gorgeous background. Really pretty background. And I love this sort of speckle effect that you can get. I do as
well.
But if I was to leave that, a lot of those speckles would just blend into each other. So dry it, if you've got to the stage that you want to keep it at, use your heat tool and dry it at that colour. I want to put a bit more colour into there, so I feel like I've got a lot of orange going on. I'm going to add some more pink. So I'm just going to add some more pink.
The background you've just done right now, keeping in mind, if you try to do what Debbie's done, you'll get similar but different effect. Think about your Halloween collection, your pumpkin stamps and all that. Wouldn't that be a really nice background for your stamps? That
absolutely,
little bit of creativity.
Absolutely. Now, because my orange is very strong, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and drop some colour in. So, and actually I think it is the pink that's perhaps made the orange with the yellow, so it's not giving me that sort of fluorescent colour, but I'm not worried about that. Now, if I want to also then go and move that around, I can then drop some colour in. Drop some isopropanol, which is going to spread that colour that little bit more. Yeah. But can you see it doesn't do what Yupo paper does? No. It actually absorbs more into that. But what now that's starting to do, can you see it's picking out the colours starting to come through? So always try and leave it for a bit, Craig, and see what colours start to develop from it. So that's a really nice way to do something a bit different. Now all I'm going to do is just dab the top of this, because this is drying nice and quickly. So I'm just going to take off any excess, and that's because it's alcohol, dries really quickly, so it doesn't take long for that to dry at all. That's completely dry. And all I could do then, I could stamp onto that. I could use some of the flowers that we've got. We've got some beautiful silhouette flowers, so you can just build them up onto your design, stamp a little sentiment on there, and you've got that beautiful background. And I just love being able to be quite creative with that and have that really strong background. So that's one of the mediums that you can put that onto. I'm going to switch that one out. Because this doesn't take as well as what Yupo paper does, I want to show you another technique where we can do a similar, so I'm going to do a similar sort of thing, but we're going to just do it with the Yupo paper, because I want to show you those differences in how you do it. So take in that same ink dauber there, that little applicator. So, and then I'm going to do that orange. So let's pop some of that one on. And then we'll do that
the
pink.
choice of colours, it's just endless. The choice of, or effect, basically, that you're going to get is going to be endless.
Absolutely, yeah. There's just so much. I just love them, Craig. I think some people worry about being messy.
Yes.
But when you know that there's certain elements that you can use,
so cool.
it just makes to clean up,
Yeah.
it makes like a big difference. So can you see now this is staying wetter for longer, this one. So if I bring this in, you can see the differences. In fact, we're probably more vibrant on the actual photo paper.
So the photo paper was the one on the left there?
Yes.
And that one is the...
Yeah, absolutely. Now can you see now that's drying? Can you see the pink where we dropped the pink in has really come to life on there?
Yeah.
And looks absolutely beautiful. So that's, I mean, just such a nice way to do it. But the reason I wanted to use this one, because now I want that to dry, I'm going to use my heat tool.
Okay.
So let's just pop my heat tool on there just to dry that off. Doesn't take long at all, because it is, because alcohol evaporates really quickly,
Yes.
which is why it doesn't really develop. Now can you see all those little speckles now are starting to really shine through, because they're not now moulding into the colour.
Yes.
So it means that all those little pieces, it's almost like a fake salt technique.
Yes, that's right, it is, isn't it?
Right, so once we've got that dried off a bit, I'm then just going to bring my stencil in. So we're going to pop the stencil over the top. Now, I'm going to go back into, in fact, I'm going to use a different one because I'm going to use a brighter colour. So let's go in and use I've got a BT6 here. Now this time what I'm going to do is we're going to pop that onto here. But first of all, I'm going to go back to my mixture that I've done. So this one is my glycerin with my isopropanol, and we're just going to paint a little bit onto there. That's just going to make sure that my ink doesn't dry too quickly, and it will spread as well. So we're just going to pop some drops onto there.
Think of all the stencils that you've got at home, or like our background dyes, die cut them into cardstock and then stencil through them with your inkers.
Yeah, absolutely. So what this will do, this is not something, it doesn't make it perfect, but it stops it bleeding too much and just allows you to go through that stencil.
Yeah.
So obviously I've used a silly stencil because this hasn't got it hasn't got big parts onto it, where if you've got a bigger part, it actually works much better. These were the ones I just got from my I can't think what they're called. Do you know the boxes we did?
Is it like the compendium?
Compendium, that's it. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, the compendium. So when you take that away, you can see all those colours coming through on there. So if you use a bigger area, it actually really helps. So I'm just going to, just so I don't get too messy, I'm just going to make sure I just clean my stencil off there.
And
so.
If, for instance, your re-inker, if they were to stain something like your stencil or that, it's not going to affect the use of the stencil in the future.
Not at all.
You're just going to have a pretty looking stencil.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, Craig, just take some of your what's the word again?
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer, and that will just clean it off, because it's just plastic anyway. So all these mediums that we put onto here just really help with being able to do different designs. And I love that we can now stencil through, but using our inks, and you wouldn't ever think to do that before. So another really great way of doing that. Now, I want to do one more before we go back to you, Craig.
Please do, yeah.
So let me take some of these. We're going to create a background, so I'm going to actually stick to these colours.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm going to switch out of colours. I'm going to bring in some greens and blues here. So let's I've got my LG3 and my BT5. And also, if you're watching at home and you've tried anything yourselves, then let me know, because it's always good for us to learn
I was just away to say exactly the same. If you've tried any, that maybe, so far we've not touched upon, or that, getting at the social, tell us, let us know what's worked really well, what's might be just a mistake, that happy accident, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that's how we all learn, isn't it? It's just being able to be really creative. So I am going to bring in, you can get, do you know turkey basters?
Yes.
Now this is a really silly thing to say, but it's really good for giving big puffs of air.
Right, okay.
So instead of using a straw, you could use turkey baster.
Yeah.
And if you pump that to it and blow that air, that... I knew I was going to make Craig go, and I'm sorry.
You wouldn't think I'm 37 sometimes, would you? Sorry, Debbie, sorry, Debbie.
But I am just going to use a straw.
That's a really good idea. I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. It is a good idea.
But
Yeah.
it sounds, when you explained it, it sounds quite funny, but it works, and
Yeah,
it's,
it does,
it's
it will.
actually really good. So I'm just going to blow mine. So let's, I'm just going to make sure we pick the end of... Right, I'm going to blow that dread. Now, what I do want to create, I'm trying to keep it in the... Yeah, what I'm trying to create is lines as well.
Reminds me of Avatar.
And what I mean by lines is I want thicker parts in here. So I know some of it's trying to dry, but I also want to... So I'm quite happy with that. I think that looks really good. Get my hands absolutely filthy there. So, but don't worry, I will use my hand sanitizer, and that will really help take that off. So what I want to do with this is now dry it as it is. Now, the reason I wanted to create these sort of bigger patches is because I actually want them, Craig, to actually stay wetter for longer.
Right.
So I'm going to just bring in my tool here to air dry it, to heat dry it.
Yeah, that also reminds me of, you know, when you're watching David Attenborough and the camera's zooming down into the world, into the, you know, you see the globe and you just see the planet Earth down below. That's it, and that's the thing. You're going, do you know what it's like as well? You know when you look at clouds and you see something different all the time?
Yeah.
This is what it's going to be like as well as you're creating them. You're going to see something different every time. It's going to remind you of something. It's going to remind you of, oh, it looks as though you're looking down on the world. Oh, right, okay, I've got my globe stamp in my collection. I'm going to dig that out and I'm going to use that. It might actually just trigger that memory of what you've got in your stash that you're going to start to use and incorporate.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I want to do, now the best results you get from this, so I might leave this one and come back to it and bring in the one we did earlier. Because we've created these thicker lines around here, these take a little bit longer to dry. And what they do, I don't know what it is, Craig, but they become sticky. So I'm going to bring the one in that I did earlier. Do you remember the one we did at the beginning of the show? So very similar, but we did it in different colours. Now, what's happened to this is if I run my hands over here, little bits of this are still a little bit sticky. Can you see where they shine, where those thicker parts are? So let me just pop this down. Now what I am going to bring in, now we do gilding flakes, and I don't have any gilding flakes here at the moment, but also what we do, and I can tell you some of these are coming up in the week on sale, is our foils. So if you've got any foils, what you would do is just literally, we can pop this over the top. Now I'm hoping this will do what I want it to do. Yeah, it's starting to. Where these bits are, I'm going to bring in actually my scoring tool, if I can find one.
That's as you were saying, just use all these bits.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to go over this. I might have left it a bit too long, this one. So actually, the other one might be better. Just popping these over. It's not really... Oh, some of it's picking up. So we can do a little bit that is picking up. So when you get a little bit of those sticky pieces, flakes probably are better because just I didn't have any on me. But when you start doing this, just move that to the light, you'll start picking up little pieces of it. But actually, I'm going to go back to this one that I've just done because it might actually work, might be too wet. So it's getting it right.
That's
it's just
right.
getting it where it's going to go. Oh, this one is going better. So I thought it might be a bit too wet.
That's the thing, you know, because I know we say it quite a lot, and it's true. You've got all the time in the world at home, you know, whether to speed it up or then slow it down. You know, Debbie's just trying to show you all the effects that you could be getting.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is working on this one. I shouldn't have rubbed it so hard there, which is a shame because, but the good thing with that is you can then just hide that with your die cuts or your sentiment or anything like that. But yeah, this one is working absolutely better. So I should have just rubbed it in rather than use my tool, but I was trying to be quick. So popping that like that. So when I then move this, can you then see?
Oh, wow.
So you're getting all of that coming into there, which is absolutely beautiful. So that's such a gorgeous technique.
Really
and
is.
again, then we can just hide those, put in our flowers. This would probably be better with these in white actually, but yeah, it would look much better in white. But I love that effect. So you can actually use your foils or use that silver foiling or any foiling that you can go in there. But another really nice way of being able to do it like that. So yeah, love these.
Excellent. We've got a few questions. I'm going to jump down to one question because Jane is saying, where can I get isopropanol, please? So I can tell you, because while Debbie was explaining, I've just been on that certain website where you can get delivery the next day, and I've just ordered it, and I've just ordered some glycerin as well. And that's what, so if I was going quiet at certain sections,
I love that.
That's what I was doing. So, well, I'm going to say Amazon, yeah. There's loads. There's
yes,
loads.
There is.
I can say it because it's not on our website. So Amazon, I can vouch here in the UK anyway. There's absolutely loads because I've just bought some. I've just also bought some more blending felts as well. So
have I just inspired you, Craig?
Honestly, you have, Debbie. Yeah, you have.
It's a great way to do backgrounds. Do you know what I would tell anyone to do is make loads of backgrounds. So I've got like a pile here. I always keep with me. So I'll just quickly show you all these different effects. This one I did. You know what I was saying about doing a faux salt technique? You can still put salt on it and create backgrounds as well. The other thing, this is plastic pop, you know, the packaging, the pop in.
Yeah.
You can just dip that into it and dry it straight away and you get all your little dots on there. This one I'm going to show you in a little while. This is a great technique to create backgrounds there. But yeah, just another one there with your bubble wrap, your bubble pop in plastic. And yeah, just doing all those different backgrounds. And what I would say is have a play, create loads of different backgrounds, and they will really come in handy whenever you want to do cards and you've got new embossing folders, you've got new dies, and especially our create a card dies to have in the background. We had those new zigzag dies on, beautiful to make backgrounds for those and then put that zigzag die in the front. So yeah, just have a day where you just make loads of different backgrounds with loads of different techniques.
Well, just like me, you have and are inspiring so many, either to get the re-inkers, that's Johnny saying they've been really busy, or for you to dig out the ones that you've got. We've got Eve B saying, good Sunday morning to everyone from Missouri. I always seem to save this show because I learn so much. I'm learning so much. Gillian saying, glad your use of running with them, i.e. the re-inkers, is metaphorical, as I was never any good at running. Yeah, me neither. Actually, we were talking about that last night with Sarah and Ben, because they love their running. It's the last thing I want to do, Debbie, is go running.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same.
Nope. Robbie is saying hello from Alabama. You love your sparkle brush markers. Robbie is saying I will definitely be saving this show. So many techniques. Polly saying a fabulous day from Blountstown, Florida. Rhonda, so you haven't missed this. Rhonda saying, did I miss the demo on how to re-ink a marker? So you didn't miss it. Debbie did explain how you could re-ink your marker.
I'll show it though. I'll show it in a little while.
There you go. So keep tuned in. You'll see Debbie showing you that. Thanks for showing us some of these tips with the photo paper, Debbie. That's from Angela. Jane, I answered your question about the liquid. Panda saying, love these backgrounds. Manuti is saying hello from La France. Suzanne is saying, sorry to be off topic, Craig. Will you be uploading the instructions for your Friday craft along on your Facebook? I will do. Promise, I'll do it by the end of today. That's a promise.
Oh, that looked lovely. That was your cracker one.
Yeah, just up there, actually.
That was amazing.
Yeah. It did win a demo of the...
I think that might be demo of the month.
I don't know after what you've been shown today, Debbie.
Yeah, but I've not got anything to put in though, Craig, so we're not doing any finished projects today.
Okay, there we go. There you go. You can have my back later on. Then, just a couple more. We've got Terry Tom saying, if you spray your glass mat with alcohol, you can use vellum to mop it up. With the effects are amazing. Great idea.
Absolutely.
Really good
what a
idea.
great idea.
Any other ideas like that? Keep them coming in. Angela, will the Spectrum Noir aqua tints work on photo paper too?
The aqua tints. Aqua tints are water-based, so no. No,
Yeah.
you'd need watercolour cardstock for those.
Jeffrey's saying, that's something I hadn't thought of doing, using foil with my reinkers. Thank you, Debbie. 2 more to go. Bethan said, that looked great. And then Shirley saying, Debbie, can you use heat transfer foil?
Heat transfer
So is that
foil.
just our foil?
So this is what that is.
Perfect.
That's all I had at home. So yeah, any foils, cold or hot ones, will be fine. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you so much. I did want to just take a little bit of time go through all these comments because it's so busy for a Sunday. Well, we're now afternoon here in the UK. Thank you so much. So many are really, really inspired. Now, going from someone that you may know very, very well, someone who was having a lovely time last night, is of course the one, the only, it's getting to know Mr. Ben Mosby.
Hello, I'm Ben and I'm one of the presenters on Crafters TV. So my presenting journey started when I was about 18. I started working at a holiday park here in the UK. Our US viewers might not know it, but there's like a holiday park called Butlins. So what's involved with being a presenter? Well, my day-to-day kind of is ensuring I know everything that's on the show, ensuring that the guys that I'm working with obviously are happy with everything that's on the show. And I kind of feel like what I do, I'm sort of like the glue in the show, if you like. There's a bit of a crafty reference for you. So kind of listening to the guys in the gallery, the producer, the director, I'm sort of always listening to what they want me to do whilst the crafters are crafting. So I feel like I'm there as the glue, keeping sort of everything, as it should be. But I also think my job is to have a lot of fun, which I think I do on most days. Get the viewers interacting, because we always love to hear from our viewers, and I think that's one thing that we do here that you don't get anywhere else, is that interaction, having people like commenting, asking a question, and then straight away we're able to react, we're able to answer that question, we're able to read out that comment, we're able to join them in singing their rendition of Foam on a Roll. Yes. I help to run the show, I help to inspire, to educate, to entertain, and just sort of generally be a good all-round bloke. So who inspires me? My dad is a big inspiration for me. He's one of my best friends, and I probably speak to him twice a week, but he's always sort of instilled a sort of a good work ethic in me. His big catchphrase is work hard and play hard, and that's something that I live by, is to put all your effort in when you're at work and make sure you're doing a good job, but then when you're outside of work, make sure you have time to kind of have fun, spend with your friends, spend with your family. So I always remember that. Apart from Crafters TV, what else am I passionate about? Well, obviously I'm passionate about my family. I love to spend time with my family, with my wife, my 2 children, and my 3 pets now, because we've just got another dog recently, a puppy, which is killing me. I've got no sleep. Also passionate about sport. I think a lot of our viewers know I'm a big rugby fan. Running I like to do, but again the old knees are beginning to hurt just a bit. I'm getting old. Oh, so many amazing experiences connecting with our viewers. Always get sent cards, which is lovely on sort of special occasions, and birthday cards every year. I always get cards sent through, which is so nice to come in and have some cards, and you can send presents as well if you like. I've never had a present yet, so if anyone wants to send presents, you can. Do you know what? I haven't had many presenter fails, particularly here. Actually, here, presenter fails, knocking over pack shots. I'm very bad at doing that. If you stack a pack shot too high, chances are I'm going to get exuberant in my arms and knock it over. My biggest moment of pride or biggest achievement, I've got a few. These are big for me. You'll probably laugh. I ran the London Marathon. I was a Guinness World Record holder. I've got the certificate for that up on the wall alongside my marathon photo and alongside my Foam on a Roll caricature. My Guinness World Record was for naming the most amount of Beatles songs from their opening lyrics in 1 minute. I've had things named after me over the years. I had an alpaca named after me. If you are ever in Aylesbury, do make sure that you go and drive around the roundabout, which is near the Waterside Theatre there, because you'll find that that particular roundabout is named after me. Oh yes, I have a roundabout named after me, big time.
We're all dumbfounded. Alpaca named after him, and a roundabout.
Is that true? We've never heard that. I've never heard that about Ben. The Ben Mosby roundabout.
And because obviously, you know, you and Ben just get on great and so well. So do me and Ben. Never kept that one quiet.
I didn't even know about the Guinness Book of Records.
No, I didn't. No.
Naming Beatles songs.
Within a minute from the opening tune.
Wow.
Well.
Oh, so as soon as the tunes play, you can name it.
You can name it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Ben.
I know.
We know what our next conversations are going to be about, don't we?
I know.
I'm more interested in why a roundabout was named after Ben. Can't quite.
So he used to work on a radio station, and it's the Ben and Nia roundabout, and that was who he worked with on a radio station.
Oh, and did they broadcast from the roundabout?
Oh, could you imagine that, driving up to the roundabout and here's like these people sat there, you know, with a, I don't know, was it disc jockey desk or whatever it is?
That's
Could
brilliant.
you imagine that?
Love it.
Well, see, there you go. See, we learn from these as well. Absolutely loving our new VTs. And like the team that you don't see have been doing an absolutely cracking job for sure. Right, I do believe you guys states, I do know what a roundabout is, Johnny. Yeah, Johnny, we did have this conversation once before, because I didn't think there was roundabouts in America, but apparently that there is a few, yeah. Although I think predominantly you guys really use your traffic lights, don't you, than roundabouts. But anyway, there we go. Let's have a look at all 14 of these re-inkers. So many of you have just been absolutely blown away in the last hour and 7 minutes as to what Debbie's been showing you, including myself. So we have got a lovely bundle. This is our re-inker collection. You're going to get all 14 of them. So you're going to get BT8, BT6, PP, PL5, DG3, LG3, FS3, BP3. You're also going to get BT5, FL3, PP5, PL1, OR3, AB3, JG1. You're going to get all of them.
And their names then, Craig.
These means that these will correspond to your classic pens and, of course, your Illustrator pens as well. So you're going to get all of these ones here, £50 or $65. Really good saving off of that one. They will last a long time, you know, depending how much you use, but I've had some of mine a really long time. £40 or $52 if you are platinum. Now, if you do want to go just for a smaller bundle, just to quickly go over this one, the first set I showed you there were collection 1. So if you just want to go for those 7, you can be paying £30 or $37.50 for just those 7. So you can see them on your screen right now. Or maybe you just want to go for collection 2, set 2. So that's these ones here. So you can go for these ones, also £30 or $37.50. Just to say though, if you were to go for that full 14-pack bundle, you will be saving an extra £10 or $10 compared to buying collection 1 and 2 together. So just want to make you aware. But we've got these options for you as well as that starter collection on the show as well. Rightio, let's comments coming through again. So what we'll do, as what we've done before, head across to Debbie, and then when we come back, we'll have a look at some more of your comments. Debbie, what we're going to do next?
Right, so I am just about to stamp an image to show you how not only, because you might not even have any alcohol pens and you're new to all this colouring and you're more a watercolourist or a painter, and you might just want to use these to colour images with. So you can do that as well without using your pen. So I want to show you how you can do that. But just going back to the actual pen and the ink, I want to show you how you refill them, just in case anyone was wanting to know. Well, we did have a question of asking how to refill them.
Yeah.
Now, it's your classics that are refillable, and you have 2 nibs on your classic. Now, we tell you to go in with the chisel nib. So all you're going to do is take your lid off. I'm just going to grab myself just a piece of tissue here and take that nib out. So you're just going to hold that and literally just take that ink out, straight out the top. So that gives you your biggest amount of gap in your pen. And all we're going to do is we're going to take our BP. So this is my coordinating BP3 to my BP3 pen. So this is what I was saying, get the colours that you know you use the more out of. And then I'm just going to pop my pipette worth right through into there. So I'm going to, now I know these pens are used quite a bit in the studio, so I'm just going to put 2 in there.
Okay.
So pipettes. I normally say about 3. If you start to think your pen is running out, then put 3 into there. And then all you're going to do is pop that back straight in the top, and then you've got your pen refilled. Yeah. Now, the only thing I would say to do then is to make sure, I mean, we always tell you to lay your pens flat. Make sure you lay them flat and let that ink equalise throughout your pen. That way, when you come to use it, it doesn't matter which side you use it from, you're going to have that even amount of ink running through your whole pen. And it's as simple as that to actually be able to refill your pens with. Now, we don't always recommend filling any of your other alcohol pens. But it's possible. So if you wanted to, but what we always feel like, because the chisel nib is our biggest nib, you won't get any damage to that. If you start removing some of your smaller nibs and in your brush markers and that, it could damage your nibs. So I wouldn't say to you that they are refillable, but it is possible to refill them. So that's your choice to, if you wanted to use them in any of the other alcohol. The actual alcohol, it's what I absolutely love about Spectrum Noir, is the colours are the same throughout all the sets of pens. So you do get that same amount of colour. So if you wanted to do all these techniques that we're doing today, and you then want to use your normal pens of that colour, you'll have matching colours of ink. So you can create your backgrounds. If we've used our BP3, you can use your BP3 in your pen and colour an image and have that identical colour in your backgrounds, which I think is fantastic. It's the same with our ink pads. We always do that 3-colour family in all of our colours of ink pads, so they can all work together. And it's what I think crafters are really good for, Crafters Companion are really good for. Right, so we're just going to stamp one of our stamps that we've got on the show, actually. These are our glitter marker stamps, actually.
They are, aren't they?
They come out with our glitter markers. They are photopolymer. They're beautiful stamps, really lovely to colour in. They've got the right amount of space to really practice your colouring as well, which I absolutely love. And you don't have to do too much to them to make them look amazing. Now, obviously, we've got glitter markers, and I will show you. I've just missed a bit there. Let's move that magnet over. We've got the glitter markers as well on the show, so we'll show you both, actually. We can show you on one sample. I like the fact that we can just have a play today.
That's
and we haven't got to do anything from start to finish.
The stamp set, actually, one of the stamps that you're using, Debbie, are on the screen at the moment, the glitter marker stamp collection. 19 stamps, $15.98, $19.90. It does work out that you buy 2 sets and you're going to get another 3 for free.
Oh, got that stuck to there. So what I would recommend is using your palettes. We sell the palettes as well. I do believe we might have the palettes on the show as well, so you can grab them. These are brilliant. They're good for everything. Oh, look, that's the one that didn't dry earlier that I was trying out. Let me just take that one away. Yeah, they're great ones to use because you can use them for all your watercolours and your alcohol colours as well. And again, to clean it out, either just use some white spirits, some nail varnish remover, or just your hand sanitizer. It all works to clean it away. So let's do some of that nice bright pink. So I'm just going to pop a few drops into here. Now, because we're putting it onto a non-porous surface, it will stay wetter for a bit longer. It does dry eventually. If it does, just add some of your isopropanol. So I am going to pop just a little drop just by the side. So if it does get like I need a little bit more, because what I'm going to do is dip my brush into there. So dipping your brush into the isopropanol means that will then take your brush to a wet level. So it means I can then start to paint with it. So you can actually take this and get your watercolour effects, but with your alcohol markers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
I did not know that, Debbie.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, you don't need a lot. That's why I don't mix them together. So it is just a case of taking it to that, and actually you can now paint with your alcohol markers or alcohol reinkers.
Yeah.
Isn't it a lovely effect?
It really is a lovely effect, but the ability of being able to do that, you know, increase of intensity by, you know, not watering it down, but do you know what I mean? By blending that out. And the reason I stumbled there is because you kind of stop yourself, don't you? Blending and alcohol in.
And I'm glad you said that, because I didn't even think about that, Craig, but let me pop another little colour in there. Let's pop the yellow, because I know that will blend beautifully. I can then go in with my yellow and we can still blend that. Look at the colour combination. Can you see how that's blending with the colour? So we're getting that yellow, but it's going orange because it's blending. So even though it's still, we're using that pink, we're going into that yellow, we're able to mix up our colours.
With alcohol ink.
With alcohol inks, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing. And that's just a case of having a play and really, I mean, we've created two very different colours there, but I want to bring some more of that pink in. Now, I'm not using watercoloured cardstock. I'm actually using Nina cardstock. But what I would suggest is using it onto, because you can use it onto watercolour cardstock. You don't have to use Nina cardstock.
Right, okay.
So, and then I'm going to bring in some of that yellow and just get some different colours, because we can get beautiful colours coming into that.
So even then, think of things that you've learnt from our aqua pen shows, and obviously, yes, I know that they're still different, but, you know, technique-wise, blending-wise, you know, pulling the colour in, you're now able to do that with your re-inkers.
Yeah, and who would have thought it, that we could do that? I mean, look at that colour, being able to blend from that pink into that yellow. It's just beautiful. It's just amazing what you can do. And look how little colour I've used of that. Probably far less than what I would use from my pen, which is quite incredible. So then what we're going to do is just going to bring in our markers as well, just to show you those differences, because obviously we do the markers. So let's go straight in with that pink. Now with the glitter markers, you just need to shake them. They've got a ball bearing in them, so it's sort of shake it to wake it and create. The other thing is I'm going to show you as well, Craig, talking about glitter. So even though we do glitter markers, which are amazing, let's do those first. So we're just going to colour, oh, nearly coloured his leg then. He's nearly had a big pink leg. If we bring this one in, now these pens are beautiful, because you really do get the, we're using, let me just check what colours that I'm using here. These are the vibrant florals. So we're just bringing in these ones. I haven't got my glasses on, which is not good, but so seeing into those small amounts. But all I want you to see is just how beautiful these lay down the colour.
Yeah.
I mean, these are gorgeous pens to use. I love the fact that we have all these differences in how we use colours and how we lay down. But we get a real intensity in that glitter. So if I just do that to the light, so you can see, oh, look at that glitter coming through there. But if you wanted to just stick, now the bundle that we have on, Craig, comes with our glitter markers. So now it is the same intensity, but completely different colour. But I love the fact that if you use our glitter markers, these ones are our clear ones. It means where we've got 6 colours of our glitter markers, we've now got, depending on what colours you get of your alcohol inks, we can now make every one of our alcohol inks into a glitter marker. marker, because then all we need to do is to paint down. Now it's not as they're not as intense because I'm just make sure I don't think this. Oh, there we go. Now these aren't as intense as what your glitter markers will be, but they will do a good job. They will be able to bring that glitter into play and very subtly add that sparkle. Now the more that dries, the more then the intensity comes in, and then you get that, look at that. You can see that gorgeous glitter in there. So that's a really subtle glitter effect. The glitter markers are a full-on glitter effect. But what I would definitely say is go for that beginner bundle that we've got, because you've got your glitter markers, your alcohol inks, your stamping mat in there as well, and your cardstock, which we're using here. But look at that. I mean, who would have thought we could paint with them? So if you don't have the pens, you can literally use them as that paintbrush. So another really great way to use them. In the next demo, I'm going to show you another wow factor of a different thing that you can do with them as well, which is a really simple technique. I didn't make this one up. I literally got it online. I can't tell you who it was. I can't because I can't remember, and I do apologise for that, so I should have wrote their names down, but it's a technique that I got off of a YouTube video, and they did this technique, so I'm going to show you that next, Craig.
Brilliant, excellent, thank you, Debbie. If what Debbie's just done there, if you had put that in front of me, and you know, I feel I'm quite confident when it comes to our different colour ranges, you know, our different colour and techniques application, I would not have said that Debbie's coloured that in with her alcohol Debbie's painted that in with our alcohol re-inkers. That wouldn't even have crossed my mind. It wouldn't have made my list of ideas as to what she used for that one. So that's now something else that you're able to do. And you know what? You can still do it with what I'm away to show you now, because we've got 3 in this set. This is our alcohol re-inker starter collection. So everything on this screen right now, you're going to be paying £30 or $40. You are going to get saving of over 40%. That is going to come down more to platinum level, £24 or $32. You are going to be getting your 3 re-inkers, so PV3, BT9 or JG4. And you're also going to be getting your Flagstone alcohol-proof ink pad. You're also going to be getting your full pack of Nina cardstock, which is 16 sheets. You're going to be getting your stamp set with all these beautiful swirls on it. You're going to get your number 8 paintbrush, and you're also going to be getting a 3-pack of your clear sparkle overlay pens that Debbie was just using a moment ago. All of that for £30 or $40. It is fab. So you think how far, well, I'm saying think, you might not know how far your clear sparkle overlay pens are going to go. They will take you far. Your Flagstone ink pad's going to take you far, and now your re-inkers really are going to take you far in all the creativeness that you can have when it comes to them, all the different techniques. And don't just also follow along or take on board what Debbie said. As Debbie said as well, and we've all done it, we look at techniques online, go online, have a look at all the other things, because I'm going to say there's probably thousands and thousands and thousands of techniques that even Debbie wouldn't even have a chance to show, even in a full week probably. So do check them out afterwards as well, in between shows, and see what else you can be doing. So that is the starter re-inker starter kit that we've got on today. Right, we're going to have a look at our weekend super saver now that we've got here. So when it comes to this one here, this is your Spectrum Noir metallic ink pad selection and your black cardstock. So this one here is giving you your 4 metallic ink pads. So in these ones here, you're going to be getting your Midas Rose Gold, bronze, you're going to get your blush, and also your gold with your 30 sheets. Now it's actually slightly larger than A4 when it comes to your black cardstock. It's 9 inches by 12 inches, and it is 240 GSM. So all of that you're going to get, today's price being £25 or $35. You're going to be saving over 25% on that lovely little bundle. But if you are platinum, it comes down to £20 or $28. Just to point out as well, if you're not in Club Inspire and you join today, any order you take today you will get at the platinum level. Your first order, you're going to get 20% off your first order. So that's across on the website there at the bottom of the screen. Have a look at that in between shows today, but that is an option on our website. But we are focusing on, of course, our alcohol re-inkers, and we're going to be doing something else, Debbie, you're saying.
Absolutely. I just want to go back to those ones we did earlier that we poured the bleach onto, and they've now dried. So I wanted to show you how it's bleached out, and they've come out really cool. I'm really loving the effects on these. So imagine these with just a sentiment on them, a ribbon across, some die cuts. But I love this pooling of how the bleach has completely sort of bleached them out. Just another completely different look. So let's pop them to the side. Now, what I am going to show you, I'm going to bring in just some watercolour cardstock. Now, this is a really cool technique, and as I said, I did get this online. Now, what you do need for this is some baby wipes. So I'm just going to bring in some baby wipes. I've got probably I think I've got 2 baby wipes there, which we're just going to pop into place. And in fact, I'm going to double that up there. So just pop my baby wipe in.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how this works, but it does.
It does.
I'm going to bring in just a stamp set. Now, I don't know what this stamp set is. This is just one I got from home. You'll have one where you, in fact, I'm not going to double that because I want to put 2 pieces there. I'm going to use the leaf one and this one as well. And then I'm just going to bring my, if I have, oh, here it is. I've just got, you could use your rocker blocks. I've just got a clear sort of stamping block here.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pop these onto. And then all I'm going to do, oh, it doesn't want to come off my mat there. Still a bit sticky from when I tried it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our re-inkers to actually put some colour down onto our baby wipe.
I'm not going to read the full comment yet, but Stephen Lee has done a comment about baby wipes, so I'm not going to read it all out. I'm going to let you do it first.
Right, so he's
and then
already.
I'll read out
so
what
I love
Stephen
that
says.
because you've been practicing and doing similar, and and that's absolutely great. So let's use our pink and blues here. And we're going to pop them on. Yeah, it's a really cool technique. Like I say, it's not my technique, so I don't want to take any credit for it. Like everyone else, there is a whole platform out there of education from not just us, but everyone worldwide. And it's quite amazing, Craig, at how much we have at our fingertips now. So I'm just making sure I fill this enough.
And I always, as you just said there, and I always like to say that as well, Debbie, because there's so many out there that aren't employed by Crafters Companion. They are customers, that they love our products so much. They do videos, they do tutorials, they do it all off their own back. So always make sure you check out YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. So look at that.
Wow.
It's such a nice technique. So literally by putting a few different colours in, we can then take that to our paper and create really cool backgrounds. So I'm not sure why the baby wipes keep that effect wet for longer, but it does really work. When I see it, it really wowed me because I thought, wow, that is something that you could just do so much of. And it's just a case of sort of filling your paper to create that background.
Yeah, you really can.
And then what you can do, I mean, there's other things that you can do. What I would say is it's a great idea to play with it. You could spritz this. Now, I have got, here we go. I have one of our spritzers I keep just for my rubbing alcohol, which is what your isopropanol is. So you can actually sort of spray this on, but just not do it too. Can you see how that's intensifying? I don't know if you can see that on the camera, actually. But it really does intensify the colour. But it also means that if you wanted to go in and paint with it, so even if I wanted to go in and use my sparkle pen, you can sort of pull that colour out. I can even dip my sparkle pen into here and start to get that little bit of colour come through. So there's so much that you can actually do with these. There we go, it's coming through now.
Look at that.
Yeah, just being able to sort of pick that colour up and be able to paint inside. Now this takes a little bit longer to do, but it's just a nice way of being able to do something that little bit different with it, which is amazing. But I love that being able to stamp with them is just something that's really cool. And that works both ways. So then if we wanted to put some green onto this side, so let's just pop a little bit of green.
I'm just thinking because tonight myself and Caitlin, we're meant to be going out for a meal. I think she's going to have to drag me out my car.
You're just going to go home and play. It's just practice, isn't it? And actually, not even practice. It's about just getting bits together and being able to just use them. Oh, that one's not coming out on top because I've sprayed it now. That's the trouble. No, it's not coming out because I've already sprayed it. I should have done that before. But because I've sprayed that with my isopropanol, and also isopropanol wouldn't spread very well onto watercolour cardstock.
Right.
So, but to be able to create your backgrounds with them and stamp with them is a really cool way of being able to use them. Now, let's go back to, I'm trying to think if I've got any. I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to just cut up. I've got some
no problem.
Yupo paper, so I'm just going to cut. In fact, can I throw it back to you, Craig? And I'm just going to cut a few more sheets up. Yes.
Yeah. Anne-Marie is saying, thank you, learning a lot. I've never given this a go. This was actually to the last technique that Debbie was showing. And then Stephen had said, I love the baby wipe technique. You can put all the inks on it and then put your stamp into it. The results are amazing. Exactly what Debbie was just showing you there. Terry Tom's actually saying about the segment to Ben. That segment, Get to Know Ben, was amazing. Such an accomplished young man. Not a bit young, but...
He certainly is. Yeah, I mean, I know Ben for lots of things, but not for roundabouts, beetles, or...
anything like that.
Or what was the other thing that he was named after?
And...
not the roundabout.
The... no, what was he named after?
He was named after...
The roundabout in the animal.
Oh, alpaca. The alpaca.
Just actually, can I just quickly ask this question to you, Debbie, before we go back? It's a good question. So when you're doing your techniques with the alcohol inks, does the ink, here we go, this is the one, I'll go back to that one, I was about to start. Dale is saying, do you not have to paint with an extra piece of paper underneath the paper you're painting on, like you would do if you're colouring with your alcohol
what a great
paints?
question.
It is, isn't
yeah,
it?
A really great question. And actually, I'd not really thought about it, but you could be right. I think it would pay you to put another piece underneath. Yeah. What I would tell you about that technique is to really only use a small amount of the isopropanol. Yeah. You don't need loads of that, because all you want it to do is to make your brush blendable with the alcohol.
That's right.
If you just put alcohol onto it, it will dry very quickly as you're painting with it. But by having just a touch of that, it's a bit like if you're watercolouring, you don't want so much water, otherwise it's just going to wash it out. You could also try it, because it works, because of the isopropanol, you could actually do it onto watercolour cardstock, I'm sure. I haven't tried that. Maybe we could try that and see if it'll actually work, because actually watercolour cardstock, you wouldn't then need anything underneath. It's just amazing. It amazes me still that you can do those sort of techniques with an alcohol ink, because you would never think that you would need to paint with that.
No,
but the fact that it takes it on to have, I mean, if anyone would tell me, it's a bit like saying you could use watercolours to use as on alcohol paper. Just wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't.
But to do it the opposite way round blows my mind that you can do that. So, but
yeah,
I would say it probably is a good idea to use paper underneath. I just didn't really think about it. So, good question.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there is still a couple of other questions, but I know we've only got less than half an hour to go, so keen to go back to Debbie. So when we come back, we'll have a look at a couple of other questions that's come through, Debbie.
Right, so the other thing we can do, we're painting directly onto surfaces, and there's lots of other techniques that we do with watercolours that we can also do with this. So two things I want to do. So the first one, so I've got two different papers. The first one I want to do is to do what we just did by spraying our alcohol isopropanol onto our paper when we've done our a design. So what I'm going to do to start with, let's take some of our dots here, and I'm just going to put them onto my card, just like so. And then we're just going to put some of our blue in. Just going to put a little touch of that because I don't want that to wash that out too much. And then we're going to add a touch of yellow as well. So we can literally, I'm going to pop that in to make that a little bit green and to blend our colours. So now, as you can see, I've not put no isopropanol on that. So actually, it will still blend those colours. It will still move. So I haven't put too much. It really moves. So if I then use my straw,
Coming up to bonfire night in a month or so.
yeah, so we can really sort of be creative, but I want that to blend a little bit better. So that's when we can then bring in our isopropanol and literally spray this on. Now look at this. I know, how cool is that? It's
Wow.
just completely different. Now, can you see it's just now all it's starting to do is blend those colours because that's what it does. But if you want them to stay like that, spray and then you can use your heat tool. So if we literally spray again, so I'm going to spray again to create those and then dry them. You have to be quite quick. So there, can you see, now we're drying them onto it. So you actually get almost like a coral effect.
You do.
But you have to be sort of quick with that because it does, as soon as you sort of spray it, it starts to blend. So what I am going to do, now because it's so forgiving, we can still use our straw, can still pick this up, and I've still got a lot of wet on there. So I can start to move that about as well. So it's a case of just creating all these different things, and then I can come in back in with my spray again and start to spray that, and that will just create even more. It's almost like different pockets of creativity in there that just creates lots of different
By
things.
you doing that, it's like layer upon layer upon. It's like you're drying one layer and then you're layering up by that liquid that's still wet, and then you've done a wee bit more, and then it's just incredible.
And then if I don't want that, Craig, I can then just bring in my droplets, and let's just say we want to put some extra pieces in. We can literally drop this in, and this will start to move about again. So it is just a case of doing different effects. Let's say we want a bit more pink in there. We can then come in and add some extra. Oh, and it is, you know, it's over the top. So we're putting this in over the top. And then we can move that around again as well. So let me just pick that up. Oh, do you know what? Oh no, I have moved. I thought I'd use a different medium then. So what I'm doing is sort of washing the colour down, but over the top of what we've done. So it actually creates a whole new background for us as well. So then let's dry this one off a bit. And I love the fact that you can just keep playing. You can just keep adding all those different effects. Oh, let's put that on a higher heat there.
Effect after effect after effect.
Exactly, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And as you dry it, you can see that you get different effects over the top, and different colours will start to come through. So I'm drying this off a bit here, and I'm going to also just take my tissue just to take some of that away, because that in itself will create different techniques.
So yeah, have a look at little objects, or say objects, things around the house, tissue paper, kitchen roll, as you were saying, your packaging, the bubble wrap.
The name of it earlier, bubble wrap, yeah.
Bubble wrap, yeah, that would be good. If you've any, you know, if you've got like rolls of mesh or anything like that, all of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, even though we've done that effect, then what you can do is I am going to spray again. So we're going to spray with our alcohol. So that can create something different. But then I'm going to now bring in some salt as well. So if we then put some salt onto here, I might have done this a bit too late, but I'm going to put it on anyway and see how it is afterwards. We're just going to add some. Now I've used quite, this is our rock salt, so it's quite chunky. The chunkier your salt, the bigger the sort of effect is on there.
Yeah.
And then all we're going to do is pop that to the side to leave that. And that's going to absorb little pockets. Then we can brush that off so you can still get a really nice effect with that one. So let's pop that to the side. Now, the other thing I want to do, I'm going to leave this on here, Craig, and I'm just going to spray it. So let's just spray this down. Now I'm putting the isopropanol on there, and then I'm actually going to use, let's use some different colours here.
Right.
So let's grab some of our
So
other
you way to do what I
colours.
think you're the way to do it. It's just going to blow my mind.
I don't know, Craig. I'm literally just going to drop drops onto my glass mat. So, and then we're going to just bring in some other colours into here. Now, because we've got that isopropanol on there, all I'm going to do is swish this through it. So we can just literally, oh, there's salt on there. That's the trouble. I've got salt. I should have washed that. So bringing this in and creating really different effects by swishing onto there. I mean, this is a very dramatic effect. And what I love about this, you can just keep dipping and doing whichever colours that you want to do to create that background. Now, if I don't like that, Craig, doesn't matter, because we can change that as well. So let me just make sure I've got all my salt.
Do you know what
here.
that reminds me of as well? Do you remember, I can't speak for crafting TV elsewhere other than the UK, but remember how there's a couple of companies out there that do backgrounds with wax? Like candle wax with
It's called something,
iron.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that called? Someone will tell us. Someone out there
that's
will
what that
know what
reminds
that's
me of
called.
as well.
Yes, it does look like that. Yeah, that is that candle wax that it looks like. Yes, exactly like that. But what we can also do, again, is go in with our isopropanol and we can just drop this into these and make completely different looks. Because what that's doing, it's almost like a bleaching out effect. And just get really cool. I mean, that looks amazing now, doesn't it? It's really starting to just develop into different colours. And then we can also then put some colours into that as well. And it is just a case of having a play, just keep going where you want it to go. And you don't have to do too much to it. You're just creating different effects time and time again. Now, there are different sort of things you can put through it, but literally we can then blow again.
Gosh, you're getting that poppy yellow.
Yeah, and all the time just creating something different. And just like I say, just keep playing. You can then add again, we can just squirt just a little bit on top to create those little pocket effects.
Yeah.
And it is like a coral reef, isn't it then, that you can sort of create. But time and time again, you will get so many different effects that you can do with these re-inkers. And then we're just gonna dry that off. And there we go. It's just a case of having a play, creating all these different things, and it's just amazing. It's amazing what we can do, all the different effects, and I think also don't forget that you can use them to re-ink your pens with as well. But yeah, please go online. I mean, save this show and just look at all the different techniques that we've done. But honestly, like you said earlier, Craig, there are so many different things that you can do with your re-inkers and create just the most amazing different effects. So if I sort of just bring in some of the things that we've done in the show today, we have just so many. And that one we're not given much time to dry, but you'll get that almost sort of corally effect there. You've got your stenciling, remember, on top. You've got your painting with the, you know, being able to paint. I mean, I love that effect that we've been able to get with that, and that blending. And then we've got also your foiling as well that you can do. So just so much that you can do with your alcohol re-inkers.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, you're now thinking as well of, think of your Sarah signature, think of your nature gardens, how you're going to be able to incorporate all of these ones. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break. So there's quite a few of you that's got the re-inker collection in your basket, and actually some of the starter collection as well. There's an idea as well. Your 14 re-inkers, you're not going to duplicate when it comes to the colours that are in the starter, so you might want to add them together. That's up to you. We're going to come back with some comments and questions, but if you are new to us or you're new to Club Inspire and you want a little bit more information about it, have a look at this.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the product.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Just like myself, so many are in absolute awe of what Debbie's been showing you today on Colour Me Happy. Carol is saying, first time seeing the baby white technique, so neat, it really, really is. Linda's saying, wow, this is a great idea. I learned so much from CTV. That's so nice to hear. That's what we'll love to hear. We'll love to have a giggle, but we'll love for you to get inspired as well. And as I say, we all learn as well. I learned a few things from Corin the other day. I've learned so much from Debbie today, just with the alcohol re-inkers. Kathy's saying, thank you, Debbie, for showing us these techniques. I'm definitely going to give them a try. Alison is saying, must try those techniques. Linda's saying, fun ideas. We've got a couple of questions, Debbie. Kathy is saying, since I don't have these re-inkers, can I do the same with the small pots?
The small pots, I think you must be meaning either our sparkle pots or our aqua tints. They are all water-based. So even though I would say you can't do the same techniques, you just do them onto watercolour cardstock. So you just add water instead of the isopropanol. Yeah. So yeah, just a different medium, but you can do the similar techniques. And what I would say, Craig, to anybody is go on to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest. And honestly, there is so many different videos and tutorials of all sorts of things that you can watch. So if you've got a specific thing that you like, so like stamping with alcohol inks, you could just type that in and not just find what I've done today. You'll find lots of different people trying out lots of different techniques. techniques.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about social media, is that
That's
it's all out there for you to find. So I've just took a small amount of the techniques that you can do and put them into one show. But honestly, if you just type in a technique that you really liked, maybe painting with them, you'll find lots of different people painting lots of different things.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe even just keep yourself like a little swash book or something like that, you know, right on the back what it was that you'd done, just so that you remember for future.
I love that idea, Craig, because what I've done also, if I write myself a cheat sheet as well. So I write myself my own sort of things that I want to do with them, and then just put them into sort of bullet points, so I know what to show you. And you could do the same thing with the cheat sheet and the colours that you've used, because not all colours work well together.
No, they
Sometimes
don't.
you're just going to muddy the colours, and just be mindful of what colours you use so that they don't clash too much or create something really dark and you're not going to like it. So it's just being mindful of the colours. But yeah,
that's great. Thank you for that, Debbie. We've also got Sarah Brown saying, Debbie, I'm loving these ideas. Thank you for sharing them with us today.
Thank you, Sarah. You're more than welcome.
Deborah is saying, we'll be saving these to refer back to. Thank you, Debbie, for the tip.
Oh, that's lovely.
We've got Terry Thomas saying, we should do a craft along with 2 parts. Day 1, make several backgrounds, and day 2, a project using the backgrounds. Everyone would have completely different results.
What a brilliant
idea.
Yeah, it was a little bit like you, Craig. You did your own to make the crackers for your box, and then the box in the craft along. I love that idea. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, we might be able to do that eventually, because we have some sort of little changes coming up. So maybe. We could do that.
Maybe. So actually, Rhonda's actually asked this just a couple of times. We're just getting around to answering at the moment. So I'll fire it across to you, Debbie, although I know because I've placed my order. I'm still not certain about isopropanol. Is it the same as isopropylene alcohol, like the medical stuff, or something else?
It's absolutely the same. I probably just say it differently. So yes, some people call it different things. There's about 3 different names people call it. I only call it isopropanol because that's what, when I've watched tutorials on it, that's what the crafters call it. But it is exactly what you say it is. So did you want to spell it out, Craig? Because the one I'm using, you have got the right spelling for that, and then you'll know that you've got the right thing.
So what I would say as well is, in that break, Rhonda, I went and had a look at my order that I'd made, and it actually has what you say and what Debbie said, because I showed you, didn't I, Debbie? So what it had in my order, it had what Debbie said / what you said as well. So it's the same thing. So what Debbie was using is spell ISOPROPANOL, and what you've said, Rhonda, as ISOPROPYL.
Yes.
So, but as Debbie said, it's the same thing. So so good one to shout out on that one.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey,
and it's great. You really do need that with these alcohol
absolutely.
drinkers.
You can see that, can't you? And it really was. It was, for me anyway, in the UK, it was like under £7. So it's not, and it was a big bottle, so just to let you know. Jeffrey's saying, Debbie, that would be a great one to use with our Halloween collection.
Yes, it would.
Brenda's saying it blooms and blooms, magical. That's a good way of putting that last one you've put, Debbie, eh? Blooms and blooms and blooms.
Blooms and blooms.
Karen Fisher is saying, Debbie, I am loving these techniques. Would love to see you do something to resemble the ocean underwater for a background.
Oh, yes, that would be nice.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? A lot of blues in the collection, you'd be able to do that. Kathy's saying, thank you for sharing your techniques. They're absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely going to be using some of these on my new card designs. Debbie, you are amazing.
Aww.
I will absolutely, completely agree with you on that one, Kathy. Pammy is saying it's gorgeous on vellum, I could imagine. And Kathy is also saying, we'd love to see more of the painting with the re-inkers and shading techniques, please. Well, we always take on board what you'd love to see, so you just never know. You never know. Right, let's have a look at the big collection we've got here. This is the re-inker collection with 14 re-inkers. Now, today's price has been £50 or $65. On that one, you are going to be saving 40%. If you are platinum, it is going to come down even more to £40 or $52. That is giving you 14 completely different alcohol re-inkers, and you just think of all the things that you can be doing and more that Debbie's been showing you. Now, if maybe you don't want to go for that full collection, maybe you just want to go for collection 1, this is where it's going to give you 7 of those 14 re-inkers. That is then going to come down to £30 or $37.50. If you are platinum, however, that is going to come down to £24 or $30. Just to say, on that today's price, you would be saving 25%. Maybe you want to go for collection 2, which is the other 7 of that main collection. So that's giving you such as the blues and the pinks with the orange. Now that one there, that is also £30 or $37. Platinum price giving it down to £24 or $30. What I do just want to point out though is that big bundle of 14 re-inkers. If you go for that one, you will save an additional £10 or $10 compared to buying collection 1 and 2 together. So I just want to let you know that one there. Let's have a look at the glitter markers that Debbie was showing you. These ones, the sparkle glitter, again it says brush pens. It is just more of your, it's like a ballpoint pen so to speak, but the actual glitter you get is incredible. So that is your 6-piece pen. This is your vibrant florals, £10.79 or $15.25. That's giving you the saving of 10%, but platinum comes down to £8.63 or $12.20. That is 6 of them that you're getting. Maybe you also want to add to that collection. This is also your glitter pens. This is your neon lights. This is also £10.79 or $15.25, giving you the saving of 10%. But if you are platinum, it comes down to £8.63 or, of course, $12.20. All of these, best place to go is Shop the Day. Where do you need to go? Across onto our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu. If you're not in Club Inspire, now is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to have a look at that and see all the other benefits that you're going to get. But also the end of the summer sale is there. So maybe just pop in a few extra bits and pieces that you have maybe, it's maybe taken your fancy as of late and you've seen them in that sale. You do have some flower forming, you've got some dies, you've got folders, you've got some boards, you've even got some CD, DVD, ROMs in there as well. Lots and lots, up to 70% off, and there's some items that are as little as £1 or $1. That is not including your Club Inspire, because you still get your Club Inspire on top of that one, of course. Well, I have had a lovely start of a Sunday morning and end of a Sunday morning, start of a Sunday afternoon for myself. It's been so good. I am going to head home in a moment where Joe's going to take over and he's going to be here with you, Debbie. What have you got?
I know. Well, we have some bargains. We have an amazing craft vault, end of summer sale. So, yeah, honestly, you'll want to grab a bargain today, which is going to be amazing. And then, of course, we've got Second Chance Sunday, so which has got all sorts of things from the last week, which is going to be amazing. Craig, I always love working with you.
I love working with you.
Have a good weekend.
I will
Rest of the weekend.
Thank you. I know, yeah. Have a lovely rest of the show with Joe. That is, of course. So, very, very quickly, Christina said, good morning. So I'll just fire these answers here. Can these re-inkers be used on any of our Spectrum Noir ink pads? No, they're for your alcohol pens. Your ink pads are different configuration. And Brenda is saying, Craig and or Debbie, do either of you have a preference of alcohol-based markers or water-based markers? I like alcohol colouring with my tri-blend pens. What about you, Debbie?
Yeah, I think I've got my preference. Never used to be. Used to always love watercolours.
You did, didn't you?
Because they're so forgiving. But actually, I love the blending capabilities and the vibrancy of alcohol markers. So yeah, I have to say alcohol colouring.
Exactly the same. Yes. Rightio. So I'm not back on Crafters TV for a couple of days as of yet. It's going to be towards the end of next week anyway. But I will be on social media. I will be doing a Facebook Live from home one night this week. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. As it's me finished now for the day. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Johnny and George, of course, Debbie and Chantel, who's been on the comments this morning. Have a lovely rest of the day with Joe Ann, who's literally just walked through the door with Joe and Debbie, and I will see you later on in the week. Debbie, thank you for all these techniques. I've loved them. Take care. We'll see you soon.